Hello! Thank you for joining me today for the KH3 Proud Mode continued stream that I'm doing here, Kingdom Brunch 3. I'm a little bit sleepier this morning than last time. We'll see how it goes. I'm drinking some coffee. I got up at a normal time. This is a good regular brunch time for me in comparison to when I got up, but something about the day, it's got me lower. Got me a little bit more lethargic. I have a feeling, because it's a Monday at noon, we're never going to get a whole lot of people on this stream today, but I need to get some more footage of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I figure a lot of people would probably rather watch it after it's done anyway. So perfect. Hello, Lucknow. Let's see. What were we doing? We were about to go fight Hades. Which way do I have to go on the map? Well, let's find out. This wasn't fiery before. Or maybe it was. All of this was fiery. We went through all of here. Oh, we need to climb up the mountain. Perfect. I keep thinking I have glide from my other run, but there's no glide yet. This first level surprised me because I think they pull out a lot of really great stuff later on in this, but they did not do a great job with this one, I don't think, in comparison. One quick second. Lockno, can you confirm that you can hear me?
The river's never this full.
I just want to make sure that my audio is working correctly. My devices are giving me some conflicting information. Oh, perfect. Ideal. Soon I will trust my microphone, but after my Sexy Brutal stream the other night, I'm very nervous about it. Oh, that's cool. That looked like there used to be a Kingdom Hearts spell Magnet, and that looked like Magnet used to look. They took a lot of the old spells and like different mechanics from different games and sort of condensed them into the combo system that comes from the new Keyblade system where you can switch it out whenever. And it was a great idea. It works great. The rides, though, are entirely new. And also the camera work is always a little rough on these. Okay, there we go. Something that I haven't quite figured out in this one is how the different kinds of magic interact with each other, because it's not quite Pokemon rules. I can use fire on these water guys and it's fine. So I'm not sure exactly how the game decides what spells are good against who, and I think they must all have like their own resistances that you can probably eventually figure out, and I bet some people online already know. But I'm gonna mostly be having to guess and try stuff out. Perfect. Also, the game's idea of what a plot important battle is. It changes a lot as it goes on. Having that dramatic slow motion ending effect on that one is funny considering all the bosses you end up fighting later. I think this game, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure this game has more boss fights than like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 combined by the end. They start giving you boss fights 2 and 3 at a time.
Nice.
Get some apples. One thing I never got on the other game that maybe I'll get by the end of this one, maybe I'll spend some time to do it after we finish the regular stream, is the Ultima weapon. I saw some of my friends got it last night and it was super cool looking. Every game, I think including 1, no I'm not sure, but I think so. Every game including 1 has a way for you to get an Ultima weapon, which I think is a phrase. I think the Ultima weapon as an idea started as a Final Fantasy thing, maybe? But in this game, they are just like the quote-unquote best Keyblades. Normally, they're the best, like, balanced Keyblade. In Kingdom Hearts 2, there was a Keyblade that had more magic than the Ultima, so sometimes you would need to use that instead. But they're the best, like, overall. Ooh, lots of these guys. Oh, nice. I need to actually work on my other run. Since I started doing this, I stopped doing the extra stuff on the other one. But I need to go back and do that. I want to get the Ultima weapon. I want to beat that, like, optional boss. That's the last one of the secret portals. I did all the rest of them, but that last one I didn't finish. Another thing I might do more of in this game to make it easier, because I didn't do any of it in my regular mode run, is buy stuff from Moogles. I was only buying the Kupo coins from Moogles and I did not even try other stuff. So I need to maybe buy some good stuff. Yeah, Tim, that's exactly what my friends did. They are kind of completionists and they didn't want to do the last mode, so they went and completed some other tasks. I really, really wanted to know what was going to happen. And the final boss was pretty easy anyway on that mode, so I felt pretty good about going sooner, so it was kind of, I got to see more of what he could do. Though I'm sure by the end of this run, we will be sick of what he can do. Did you end up finishing it, Tim? Did you finish the story? Ooh, one of these big pillars. Oh, jeez. Somebody say something about how great I am. Or Donald cast some kind of healing spell, please. This noise. Well, Tim, I'm really excited to hear what you think. The ending is very fun and very good. And I'm excited to get a chance to talk about it on this stream. Ooh, not having the aerial recovery button is rough. So many things that this game does really well, like that sense of progress in the way that you move. I love that this game understands that some of the most rewarding things you can do in a video game are improve the way that you like relate to the world and the way that you move around within it. They make these really, really beautiful scenes, and then later on, as you get all these other skills, you get to do more jumps, more flips, run on the walls better. You get to actually fly around. I went down from the mountain on this map with the flight, and you got to stay up really high the whole time as long as you followed the path, and so I could see everything from really high up. And then also it gives you some nice things in combat that really make you feel like your character is getting better, like the aerial recovery. The only downside of that being, of course, that whenever you're playing in a row or you're playing multiple games at a time, you have to keep track of like, oh, I don't have these combo buttons on this game, but I do on this one. So like every time you've gone through 1 and 2, I've had to get the aerial recovery again and play again. And I guess some of the side games had that mechanic as well. Definitely Birth by Sleep. Yeah, a Sonic game that plays like KH3 would be really, really interesting. I guess, like obviously one of the big struggles with Sonic games compared to games like this is that if he does move quickly, they have to like make the maps have really obvious paths so that you can maintain your speed. But I don't know, maybe the 3D Sonics have overcompensated for that a little bit, because I feel like in the original 2D games, you couldn't necessarily go very fast until you had done the levels a bunch of times. So I guess they could keep that mechanic going with this on Kingdom Hearts, make it kind of an action fighting game, and give Sonic more speed and abilities as he goes. Oh, that could be interesting. What if Sonic has like lost, sort of in the way Sora has lost his powers, Sonic has like lost his main speed at the beginning, and so over the course of the game you're getting little speed abilities back and the ability to run faster and faster. That would be really fun. And if it was a team game, which I know Nick and I have talked about a lot on your two show, about how they need to really emphasize the game being a bunch of kids in a team. If it was a team game, you would be able to have other powers pop up too, like have Knuckles show up as part of a combo, or like make it so that you're always traveling with Tails and Knuckles, and whenever you press a certain button, Tails. I don't remember doing this in the original game, but I must have. Tails like picks you up and helps you fly. Huh. What's down there? A treasure chest. Yeah, exactly, like a Sonic Heroes, but a little bit less directly controlled, maybe. Because what I remember about Sonic Heroes was that it was like, not exactly a race, but almost like a relay. It's like a straight line, right, all the way through the levels? Or am I remembering that wrong? Oops. Cool. So I guess this was another way up. Or it is now. Or did I already come up this way? Who knows? I've done this map so many times that I do not remember where I've been this time. Okay, definitely came through here. But I do love the idea of Sonic Heroes being a, like, better game. The story in that one was wild, but the opportunity to have the characters from that game sort of team up and form, like, effectively a single character with a lot of abilities is, I think, a really engaging possibility in the Sonic universe. Kingdom Hearts doesn't exactly do that, but Sora has some more narrative wiggle room to have random magic powers that they don't actually mention in the lore or in the cutscenes, usually.
Just like before.
Guys, this is getting worse by the minute. I hope I'm wrong, but my family may need me. Sora, I'm gonna fly ahead. You've been a big help, but leave the rest to me.
Family?
Yeah. Dad's king of the gods.
Look at Hercules' hair color in this, the way it's shimmering.
What? His father is a god. But doesn't that mean Herc is a god too?
Oh, I think it does.
No wonder he's so strong.
Then he'll be okay.
Won't he?
No, Organization 13's here. He'll need our help.
Good point. We gotta go.
Okay, so
He was never
what are
killed.
these three's... What's these three's idea of a god? Because they do know to be excited about the fact that Hercules is the child of a
I wanted
god.
to save her with all my heart.
They know it's a big deal, and they did not know who Hercules actually was, which was a weird thing to emphasize in a game about a Disney movie. I imagine if this was like your only connection to Hercules, and you had just had like the one arena which featured Cloud, and then the underground, the arena and the like underground hell area which featured Oron from Final Fantasy, and then you had like oh my gosh, what was his name? The one that Cloud is in Final Fantasy VII. Cloud is impersonating Zack. Then there's Zack in the Birth by Sleep one, I believe. And then you come here and you find out that Hercules is the son of a god, and you're like, wait, what? But what does Sora think a god is? And do they just understand what a god is because of this world? Like, because they know what Hades is? Or do they have a, like, preconceived idea of gods? And do the gods in this world have any relation to gods that they would have in their worlds? Could Zeus and Hades be friends with the Destiny Island creator? It seems like probably not. Whew, it's a good thing I don't have to play this. So many items. I haven't checked in a while to see. Oh, it won't let me now because I'm in a sequence. If any of my spells have leveled up or anything. I doubt it, I guess. That's so cool looking. Thank you, Magnet. This is my least favorite one of these. It just takes so much time, and it's hard to get out of. It is strong though. The reason that I'm switching my key around is because if I switch, and maybe I explained this in the first episode already, but just in case you didn't know, switching the keys lets me maintain my charge on my other key. So that one will stay in the second form while I'm running around with this one, and I can switch back. Yes. Kingdom Hearts has a lot of boss fights like this where you are just only able to see like one specific part of their body. And the camera's a little bit rough and you don't really know exactly what you're doing. And it does do a good job of giving you a sense of scale. Like this guy feels very big now and I had to spend all that time just attacking his foot. And he could step and squish me. But it pulls you out of it a little bit when the only way this guy's attacking you is by taking a step, because it's like, okay, what is this guy doing with the rest of his hand? Is he, or with his hands, is he just like deciding that it's not worth trying to fight me? Is he still throwing rocks down the mountain at other people that might show up? That's what I'm curious about. I love the way the bottom of their face is like hands. They've got like these fingers. That was wild looking. Alright, time to get into the mountain coaster. We get to do this in like 2 different times during the game that I recall, just 2 different ones, and it's a big set piece like this both times, and it's very, very cool. But it's interesting that this is not an ability that you actually get, or something that you can do anytime. Woo! Beautiful. It's also funny that the ability is chimney flare. It's beautiful. Oh, I could have been attacking him the whole time to do damage. I see. Am I fighting his feet again? I guess so. Last time I must have realized I could keep doing damage and I did not waste the time just sitting around. Alright, Donald, get him. Oof. Thank you, Donald. Oh my gosh. Let me out. Got it. Okay, time to hop back up. Oh jeez. Donald! Beautiful fireworks. Oops. Oh. I thought that was because I pressed triangle and he was jumping out. Whew. Wow, I bet this boss is frustrating during a speed run. Maybe there are some secrets. Okay, we're so close. Nice. All right. My maximum MP increased. Yes, thank you. And I'm sorry about this siren HP noise that this game is always doing.
By themselves.
That one was
The Titans. Not so tough by
Okay,
themselves.
what's next?
Donald's so funny. Dumb as a rock. Look at Sora's little face down there. Oh, it moved. But his little sad face when he's hurt. I forgot that they did that, and I did not pay attention in this game yet. That's great. Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy have very similar ideas of chest placement. It's always like the main, it seems like their main, oh man, what's a good word for it? Their main plan when it comes to placing chests is like, put it wherever they're gonna have to turn around. Make it so that once they've learned how to play a Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts game, they will never be able to enter a room without turning around and checking behind them for where we've put the chest. Oh, he scowls in combat? I'll have to look at that soon. This is so pretty and such a cool effect. This level is so long. All the levels in this game feel very long and very full compared to other games, especially when you come back and there are actually people in them. The like classic moment of the Birth by Sleep Cinderella stage where they're sitting in the ballroom and they're like talking about what a wonderful party it is, and the only two people that are there are Cinderella and the prince dancing in the ball, and then like the evil step parents hanging out in the corner. It doesn't happen in this game, which is nice. Usually everything's pretty busy, or it has an explicit reason for being empty, like the Monsters Inc. world, which they didn't want to model a million monsters, so they said it was like in the middle of the night while everybody was gone.
Is this Olympus?
Gosh, it's amazing.
Oh,
Whoa!
the fun there.
nope.
I love these guys. Their little beards, very cute. All right, Goofy, hit me with your ability. That's okay too, Donald. Oh, that was nice, actually. Did that knock them out of formation? Oh, I guess so. I guess that's what the armor is the formation with their helmets down. Oh, I'm looking at the face now, and it's so sweet. His little scowl. They did such a good job in this game of making him actually seem like a kid, which I know I've talked about before, but I don't feel like the other games did quite as good of a job. And now we have shot locks. Shot locks are unique to every Keyblade, unlike what they were like in Birth by Sleep, where they were introduced, which were abilities that you could trade out in your skill tree. the shot lock is a like lock-on command that lets me do this, target people using my focus gauge on the right. And if you either target some or max it out, usually abilities have two different forms. And those abilities in Birth by Sleep were really, really good for boss fights because it would give you a bunch of free attacks on a boss during a slow motion period when normally the bosses in that game were incredibly thankless. I think Birth by Sleep is the only game that's featured shot locks so far, so it's cool that Sora's getting them in this one. I guess they might have been in Dream Drop, but I don't recall. Something that I think is very admirable about the Kingdom Hearts series is how often they shake up their mechanics and try different things. Especially in the spin-off games, they've never been worried about doing a whole new skill system or a whole new method of leveling up your abilities. And this game, I think, has benefited a lot from that trial and error, because they haven't always been good, but they've managed to pick the good ones and keep them in. Though, to be honest, I loved the sort of inventory management skill system in 358 over 2 days. And not only did they not put that in any future games, but they also deleted 358 over 2 days basically as a game from the canon by releasing it as a movie in their re-releases. Maybe I'll stream that game. I've been trying to think of like if there are any other Kingdom Hearts games I'd want to stream. And since they released that one as like a big movie, but I think it's actually a really fun game and a good sad story, I could probably find that and stream that one on here. And that way you'd be able to see it even if you have only really interacted with the remakes. That could be fun. I love that game. I'm glad you liked it too, Tim. That was like my favorite Kingdom Hearts game for a while, and it was so sad to see them like erase it, basically. I know that it's still there and I can still play it, but it was just weird that they didn't even like, yeah, they didn't even have to change anything. They could have just ported it the way that it was. And to explain what I mean by the inventory management system, it's been a while since I played it, so I might not describe it perfectly, but basically skills took up literal space on your skill board, which you could get more spaces on as you leveled up. And so it was kind of like one of my favorite video game mechanics of all time, which is the Diablo inventory, where each item takes up a certain number of blocks rather than just everything taking up one block. So in Diablo, the way that felt was if you wanted to have, you know, a pole arm, cool, pole arms are great, but they're going to take up like 4 spaces in a vertical row. And then some of what you did during that game, which like I guess some people might have found annoying, but to me was like a highlight of the game, was like puzzling your inventory around to make it all fit based on the shapes that it actually is. And the Birth by Sleep system kind of felt like that because not Birth by Sleep, sorry, the 358 over 2 days kind of felt like that because the skills had their own like special shapes. Like you might get Cure, but it might be in kind of an L shape rather than just a square or in a straight line. And that was very cool. I think I need to go this way to get to the forge. I'm trying to get Goofy's skill, a new shield. Yes, this is it. So if you haven't already found this, which you probably did because you probably did the Moogle photography quest, you jump down here and you find the forge. I sort of, when I first saw this, hoped that it was going to be like, we were going to see Hephaestus or something, and it was going to be a regular place we came back to forge. And maybe that was an idea at some point, especially since we upgrade Keyblades. But in this case, all you actually do, this is a very cute way to do it, but all you do is get 1 free shield. All right. Wow, that was close enough? Oh no, okay, good. I was like, what? They all glowed.
Maybe the trick is to line up those tubs above us.
Oh, thank you, Goofy. Let's go here. And... oh, backwards. Let's go. Let's see if this works. Yeah, cool. Hello, new people. We got a couple of new people all at once. Welcome. Yeah, the puzzle is cute, and there's not enough puzzles in this game, to be honest, I think. Something like that was very, very simple and very fun. This game loves mini games, which I do not love, but it does not love puzzles. And maybe that's not totally fair. I do like mini games, but this game has some hit or miss ones in it. And especially when you need them to get crafting materials. Oh, dang it. I always forget to do things. I need to give Goofy the shield. And also check on all my skills. It's been a little while. If you're just now joining us, I'm wrapping up the first world of a Proud Mode run. We are getting close to the boss fight. Whoop. Let's see, who's alive? I'm just gonna go ahead and do the finish move. Yep. Okay, skill time. Sora, we don't have any new keyblades. We haven't picked up any armor, but we do have some accessories. Let's do the ability ring for now. Donald, you can have the magic ring. Oops. Goofy. Night Shield Plus. So that gives him fire siphon and burn protection, which makes sense because it was a very fiery forge. What are my powers? Thank you, Treasure Magnet. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get powers in a different order this time. I didn't think about that. That's cool. Oh yes, withstand combo. Thank you. This is great and has been really great in my Proud Mode runs in the past. Basically, this makes it so that if a boss goes after you with a really, really long combo, as long as you had more than 1 HP when the combo started, the whole combo counts as an attack that cannot get you below 1. But then if you're hit again after that, after the combo is complete, you can die. And the best part about this was that in past Proud Mode runs, there were boss fights that were very clearly balanced where you could not beat them unless you had this ability on, because they had combos that just would take you from full to 0 automatically, and sometimes they were the first thing they did, and so the withstand combo skill was necessary for those fights, which like is an interesting mechanic and a cool way to sort of bury like, okay, this boss has an upfront puzzly secret that you have to figure out before you can even get in there and start the fight. But I love auto finish, and I'm gonna put on a second damage control, I guess, to keep us safe. Talked about damage control before. You can see the ability down there. It stacks and makes it so that when our HP is below a quarter, we have higher defense. It says halve the damage and that you stack it to increase the effect. I doubt that it goes all the way to a quarter from 2, but who knows? 4 skill points is a lot. Let's see, Donald, is there anything you should have rather than... No, you're fine. Goofy. Ooh, Lucky Strike is nice. So is Harvester. Let's take off... Let's take off Goofy's abilities for now to give him Lucky Strike, so that we're more likely to get some good drop items. I didn't explore down there very thoroughly, but we'll go back through there on the way back, so that's fine.
Here's our ticket up.
So this moment shows us the new addition to shot lock commands, which are that they do what previously was kind of just a quick time event thing. And basically it means that you can highlight things with your shot lock and activate them as like a place to jump to. Sort of like we talked about a little bit ago, a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of deal, where he jumps from platform to platform. I wonder if I can get that from here. Let's see.
Take this.
Yeah. There are a couple places like that in the game where you can only break something by diving on it. Okay, we gotta jump back up here. And I'm not having to do anything during those sequences, so I'm not pushing buttons at those particular places. If this were a Sonic game, or if this were a typical QuickTime event, I'd probably have to click X at every single one of the things that I stepped on. Actually, you know what? Sora has done exactly that a couple different times. There was the fight against Giant Jafar when we were doing the like Return of Jafar Aladdin level in Kingdom Hearts 2. There was the end. A couple of the games have had big boss fights toward the end that were like that. Oh geez. Okay, here comes our first big boss. And this one was tough on my regular mode. I'm gonna put some potions in. How much HP is my max right now? 160. Okay. So this will restore 160 to the whole team. This is just me, and that's 80. I want to equip this to Sora. Give him some potions. Customize. Make these potions. And I guess I could put a high potion right here. That's pretty nice. And if that works, I don't actually know how those two places that I just interacted with work with each other. Sora. I'm pretty sure he hasn't had any magic upgrades. Yeah, okay. Well, let me save again, and then let's hit it. Titans.
I swear to you, Hades, when I get out of it.
No. I'm the
Very
one
scary
giving
and gross.
orders now, Bolt Boy.
Don't get too comfortable, Hades!
Huh? Huh?
We're gonna stop you.
What?
Get them! Sora! Donald! Goofy! Yeah! It's on! Yeah!
All right. I love the spooky lava guy. So you can run up this. Oop. And in theory, use that momentum to do this. Fight with these guys. Oof. Let me get that second form. There we go. Hercules wants to do a swing. We'll do it at the top of this mountain. That's fun. Oh, you can jump. That's cool. Oh, but I cannot go back to the top of the mountain.
I gotcha.
The camera can do some interesting stuff while you're locked on. Oop. Okay. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Alright, let's see. Now, why is that not working? I guess maybe it's the shot locks just don't work here? That's so strange. Oh, my first chance to use Rage Form. You know what? Let's do it. Show it off. So Rage Form is kind of a new version of the kind of heartless... I forget exactly what they called it. This like, maybe they did call it Rage Form in the last game too. But the sort of heartless Sora form, which let him kind of use the darkness to fight. But it's kind of risky because you can't heal during it at all. It's very strong, and the risk charge ability down there is very good, but, oh cool, Magic Carousel knocked me out of it. That's neat. Having to focus on this because it's kind of a rhythm game to a song that you can't hear in a boss fight. Anti-form, yes, thank you so much. That's what I was trying to remember. And it's sort of this game's take on that. Like I said, you can't heal, so it's risky, but... Oh wow, my teammates have done a good job on this guy while I was fighting the other one. Alright, those two are down. Now it is time to fight the tornado guy. Yeah, thank you, Tim. That's like, it's so weird that it's timing based on something that's not real. Alright. How does he feel about fire attacks? Oh, don't like that. I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy right now that we have not died so far on this run. Don't get used to it, but so far we're doing good. Well, that was interesting. I didn't know I could attack those. Now what happens if I do this? Okay, so now it works. Ragnarok is one of the best attacks in some of the games. A very powerful skill in other games that now is just a shot-lock command for this. And I guess for a couple of them. Oof. Just gotta make it back down to Donald. Nice. Let's use a potion. Good. I'm not gonna be able to get max on this one. Okay. Aw, the tornado's little sad blinking face. I almost feel bad. Oh yeah, I have not learned much about Twitch chat yet. I know that eventually, like, you can start putting emojis especially for, like, your channel, or maybe I could even do that now, but I don't have one yet. Sometime soon. I'm learning more about Twitch all the time. I still don't really know what a raid is. I assume we'll figure that out sometime. Where's he? Alright. This sure is a fight, huh? Okay, what is the best way to dodge this? Let's see. No way, there's no good way to dodge this. Oh. Well, I'm out of potions now. Oh, I probably should have waited on Donald. It feels just like the giant Ursula fight. Yes, Austin. It is like the same kind of thing where you're just like trying to get to the boss even to attack them. And that's not a really exciting thing when the path to the boss is not super obvious. And in the Ursula fight, you're just having to wait around for her to give you something to jump on. It also feels like that Jafar fight again. It feels like the where he's like far away in the sky and you have to teleport to it. Or not teleport, jump on buildings to get to him. Alright.
Take this.
You stop that. Man, I'm not excited about this because I'm going to... Oh, too fast. Oh, do I get to do this like in the sky? Okay, cool. Well, okay, I like it here. This is this is incredible. Wow. Thank you, Blaster Blaze. Alright, well that was cool. Okay, that's how I get away from this. Is I jump away from it. Perfect. Nice of it to tell me the closest one. Come on, PlayStation Keyblade, let's do this. Nothing? Okay. Whew. I guess I could cast this spell. Blizaza! Got to finish with a big spell. Nice. Yeah, so when he gets the powers, like when he gets the ice chunks or the big flaming fire chunks, it's because he is like kind of sucking stuff up from the other titans. It's a cool vibe. Oh, and thank you, Luckno. So it's just after you finish, so it's just like a way to pay it forward. That's very neat. I need more friends on Twitch to do that with. Kingdom Hearts loves this. You just won a fight, but you didn't really win the fight.
Actually, I think I can make it 5.
No! Thank you, my boy.
Yeah!
Now, watch your old man work.
He's so excited to use his little lightning bolts. Those yellow chunks flying off of them was an interesting effect. They're all just walking away. No thanks. Yes, the classic shot. Whoa. How great would it have been if he had thrown them up there and then they were a gummy ship fight? That would have been amazing.
I can't believe it. I put 18 years into that plan and you ruined it. I really don't like you.
Just give it up already. You'll never beat Herc. No
18
matter how
years
many
into
times
that
you
plan.
try.
Yeah, stay in the underworld
What?
where you belong.
So I guess he's been planning this since like the first Kingdom Hearts game, and then he decided to start doing it then.
I did not come this far to be ridiculed by Zeusy High and Mighty, his little sunspot, and a trio of clowns. You know what? I'll just go ahead and destroy you.
Hades!
I really wish they did have clown outfits.
The exit is that way.
Oy vey. Gee whiz.
I'm so glad they didn't
Hold
make us
on.
fight Hades again.
I almost forgot. That one's for trying to wreck Thebes.
You'll pay for this! I have a very, very long memory. I can still dunk your little nutmeg in a river of death!
I don't know. There's like a weird feeling for me when the heroes are kind of like beating up on the villain after they are already defeated. It's like, and when it's framed like that, like, isn't it just fun and funny to hit this guy with electricity? But I guess since they can't really get rid of him, that's the most satisfying
I can
alternative
see my
in a
family
kid's show.
anytime I want. If I stayed, I'd have to be apart from the person I love most, and that life would be empty.
Do the gods have much they have to do in the Hercules Greek myth world, or are they mainly just like partying?
I finally know where I
I
belong.
have to choose between the ultimate party and
Hercules.
my girlfriend. But finally, he's grown up. He has chosen his girlfriend. Wife? Are they married?
Sora, we never got back to your question. Can I help?
Do you get married
It's
in ancient
okay.
Greece?
I think I'm meant to figure it out for myself.
In ancient Disney
I'll
Greece?
find my strength the way you found yours. Something to fight for, with all my heart. I guess you did have the answer.
Well, you've got heart,
No.
Sora. Just keep at it, and I know you'll be stronger than ever.
Yeah, I might even
I
end
love
up
this.
stronger than you are.
Sora acts like he's like figured it out, and then as soon as we go back, they're like, "You so you didn't find the one thing we sent you to find, which is the power of waking? You just like got in a fight and came home?" If you are new onto the stream today, hello. Thank you for joining us. I think we're about to have to watch some cutscenes, so it'll be a good time for everybody. Teaching me about form changes. Great. I'll explain those when they pop up. We've already talked about them a little bit, but it'll be more clear when you can see it really transform. And this will be a nice one for this build since I've got the higher strength on. So I'll have more of a reason to use it this time.
Are you sure this box with the Book of Prophecies is for reals? I think that Dig-Batted Black was pulling your leg.
Be quiet and dig, you imbecile.
Hi, Faith. Welcome.
I
Very,
must
very cute
find that
username,
book
Books
of
on Books.
Prophecies and make it my own. His was the only clue we have. We cannot afford to dismiss
Oh, the
it
Book of
without a thorough
Prophecies?
investigation.
I'm just saying a shot in the dark ain't gonna get us any closer to...
So she was looking for the
What
Book of
is it?
Prophecies this whole time?
Have
I
you
like
found
totally
something?
missed that line the first time I said
Show
this.
it to me
Is the
at
Book of
once,
Prophecies supposed to
fool.
be what's in the box?
Yes,
Oh my
sir,
gosh.
Easy. This has got to be that Pandora's box Hades mentioned.
Leave it.
What? After all that digging?
Yes, sir, easy.
That is not the box which I desire. We are finished with this world. Come.
No.
I also like they spend so much time with Maleficent on this first world really acting like her story matters, and like that, like when he pulls out Pandora's box, would have been such a fun setup for something to happen with it. And that's the first of many very exciting, surprising cuts. This game likes to mess with tone and pacing a little more than the other games, but they still have not totally fixed the dialogue. At least the space between the lines gives me a lot of time to talk. Welcome to Dirk World. My
What's
boy.
wrong, Riku?
Both
Are you tired? Do you need a break?
both of my
We
boys.
can stop.
No, just
I feel like
I've
as
been here.
Mickey has
I
aged,
should know this place.
and as the games have continued,
that
his
all
voice
seems
has
like
gotten
another
lower
life.
and lower to make room for more sadness.
Well, gee, think of all you've seen. All the feelings you've felt. Why, you've done years
Felt.
of growing in almost no time at all.
I remember my first time here. I was so scared.
It's funny because there's so many lines like that that are like
But
backwards
now
of
my
our
doubts and
experience.
fears are gone. If anything,
He's done very little
I feel
growing in 17
exhilarated.
years.
And it's not because there's darkness in me. I know too well what that rush is like. This is different. And it's not adrenaline either. I know Aqua needs us, but I'm ready.
I don't necessarily love Riku's
in
line
control
reads,
now.
but I love his voice. He sounds
Maybe
so
it's
cool.
because you're with me this time.
It's not me. I think it's because you finally found inside you that special strength to protect what matters.
What?
Sometimes you care so much for somebody that other feelings disappear. And then there's no room for fear or doubt.
Mickey
Is
out
that
here
it?
explaining love to Riku. Is love like what I feel for this fingerless glove?
Strength to protect what matters. It
Yes,
reminds
Mickey
me
refuses
of
to
a
take any
promise I
credit
made.
for anything,
To who?
and everything he says has to be
Just
supportive.
someone I once met.
He
Can't
always
tell.
asks more questions than he talks about
Sounds
himself.
like a good memory.
Yeah. While we're reminiscing, Mickey, does any of this look familiar?
Sort of. But the realm of darkness has changed since I was here with Aqua.
Yeah, it's different from what I remember.
Usually, I'd just follow my heart, and Aqua would show me the way. But the closer I get, the hazier our connection feels.
You mean...
The use of usually there is interesting. I wonder how often
But
Mickey
we
has come to
can't
visit
give up
Aqua.
hope.
Or tried to
Yeah.
find Aqua in the time. Because when she talks later, she acts like she was left totally alone. But he says he was following Aqua around.
This beach,
It's gone.
huh?
Also,
I'm
y'all all
positive
have
Aqua
Twitch
was
Prime.
here.
Tell me about it. Is that good?
But now,
Is that something that I should
her
have?
trail's gone dim.
I've been here too. With Sora.
Really?
This is where we found our way back to the realm of light. Hey, maybe Aqua did too.
Aqua has fallen into an even darker abyss. Somewhere I can't see her. And I don't think we're equipped to dive any deeper than we already are.
So then...
I love the way they play with time and the Dark World as well. Because they show
What?
a scene with Aqua pretty soon after
Riku,
this on this
Be
beach.
careful.
But because of the
Even
way
least
that
threatening
we're
heartless
hearing the story,
are
it could
stronger
be
in
like
this realm.
I got it.
a decade before in the way time works down here. Or it could just be another version of this same beach deeper down into the world. A demon tower.
Sorry. Take this.
Riku's so cool and strong.
Gotcha. Bye. Strike. Bye.
It feels like the way it felt when you got to play as Aqua in the like little game right before this game, final chapter prologue.
It's not over. Be careful.
Oh no.
Riku!
Sure are making a lot of noise underwater.
Because somebody needs me. Who are you?
I forgot about this. Do you guys have any theories about who that is?
Wake up.
Who's talking to him in the darkness?
Riku. Are you okay?
I guess it could be like... that could be the other Riku, I guess?
I got more than half
The
of them. And the
Riku
rest
copy
vanished.
that shows up later?
But, they spit you out first.
Ugh, thanks. I owe you.
I know you feel invincible, but we're not.
Are you all right, Mickey?
Yeah, thanks to the new gear. But your Keyblade...
Oh.
I love that this game loves Plaid and thinks Plaid is the strongest thing that has existed in this series so far.
The Heartless here are stronger than what we expected. I guess we probably should have powered up our Keyblades before we came in here, huh? I think we need to go back to Master Yenshit's tower so we can regroup.
But Aqua's still down here alone, facing enemies like that.
I know.
What if she's feeling as scared and alone as I felt the first time I came here? How long are we supposed to keep her waiting in this awful place?
I would love to see some scenes of what it was like for Riku in the Dark World during KH1.
But Aqua,
Yes, this is the year of the
She's
JRPG
like Sora.
Plaids. I guess Persona 5 did not come out this year, so that isn't...
Strong like
It's
Sora.
the era. Yes, oh no, I talked over my favorite joke in this whole
Okay.
game.
Good. Then I guess
Riku's
she's gonna
like,
be all right.
Wait, is Aqua another Sora?
Sora could fall into any darkness and swim his way out.
Besides, we won't be long.
Right.
Huh?
Can't use this Keyblade anymore. Might as well leave it here.
I wonder if they had Riku get
For
rid
the
of his
other
scary
me.
eyeball Keyblade because it was too confusing. It's okay, so it was the other him. Yeah. So he left that there for the Recuplica, which was who just talked to him and found him in the darkness, I guess. That makes sense. But I wonder if it was because the eyeball Keyblade was just like a little too distracting when we have another plot relevant eyeball Keyblade that got introduced later. And it made more sense for that one to have an eyeball than his, which just looks like the evil Soul Calibur. I'm totally fine with bringing Plaid back, and I think as a group we could probably make that happen. Wear some more Plaid.
I see. You could not regain your strength.
No biggie. I still learned a lot.
Regardless, Sora, you will need the power of waking.
It can't be gone forever. Maybe something'll trigger it real soon.
Like, what exactly?
How about a bite on the head?
Hey!
Perhaps it could be something that is as simple as that.
Wait, you think so too?
A bonk on the
Whenever you are
head.
in need, magic happens. That is your greatest strength, Sora.
You make it sound like an accident.
Yeah, your greatest strength is your luck, nerd.
Huh?
We're back, Master.
Whoa!
Wow, you guys are all here.
We were here before, but you didn't wait. Oh,
Your Majesty!
Hey there, fellas. So, what have you three been up to?
We were visiting. Oh!
We went to Olympus to visit Hercules.
And to figure out how
Classic
to get
slapstick,
all of Sora's
beautiful
lost
timing.
powers back.
But it was a big disappointment.
Oh, what a shame. But honestly,
He's so
We didn't
sincere.
fare any better.
Did you manage to figure out where Aqua is? Because Master Yen Sid said that's why you fellas left.
Over the head?
Come on! Can I finally say something?
We know Master Aqua made it as far as the beach that Sora
Read the
and
room,
I once
Sora.
visited. But that's where her trail ends.
Meaning?
all traces of her vanish into the great abyss, beneath the realm of darkness.
The great abyss beneath the realm of darkness.
No,
It's wild.
Sora was
So I
dragged
guess
into
even
the
the
abyss
realm of
during
darkness
his
is
exam,
like
and I
darkness
went in
plus
after him.
enough light to give it form.
So I
And then there's
think
just
if we
even
find
more
someone who
darkness
is really
below that
close
to make the
Aqua,
void.
and they make the dive, they could reach her down there.
They also use the word
I'm not
dive
sure
a lot
who's
in this
even
one,
left to ask.
which they
Ventus
started
is
doing
hidden,
in Dream Drop
and
Distance,
Aqua's the
because you
only
do
one
a
who
dive
knows
into
where.
every world.
Plus,
But that's a
nobody's
motif
seen
and an
Terra
idea
in
they've had
ages.
since Kingdom Hearts 1, with the
Aqua was
upside
the
down
last.
falling into water imagery.
So Aqua, she's gonna be the key to finding all three.
Yeah, like no,
Their
the Kingdom Hearts is
teacher,
following D&D
Master
rules, I bet.
Ericus, would have
I
been
love
another
getting natural
possibility.
20s during Kingdom
Had
Hearts.
Xehanort not mercilessly struck him down.
I love that he's got two beards. Do you think that happens naturally, or do you think it's because the way he strokes it is always like two-handed? He grabs them both, tugs it down.
I'll save her.
Huh?
I wonder if
Sora,
Sora was
that's
putting his
gonna
hand
be
on his
super
heart,
hard since you
or
don't have the
not.
power of
Maybe it was his heart
waking.
and his lungs. His hand covers his whole chest, so
Sorry.
you can't really tell what his
I
goal
have no
is.
idea why that just popped out.
Well, it was pretty convincing.
Yeah. Better not let us down.
Sora, you must
A
focus
2-hour
on
morning hair
regaining your
routine
lost power
that's
of
magic
waking.
based. He has to
Mickey and
cast a
Riku,
very
I
long
recall
spell
that Master
with the tip of
Aqua
his beard
journeyed to
dipped
many
into a summoning
worlds
circle.
and connected with others who could be the link we need.
Good plan, sir.
He only
Riku
splits.
and I will retrace her steps and see if we can find any sort of clues. But first,
I wonder why Yensid stops being a
we
Keyblade
got
master.
hit
Like, what made him
pretty
a
hard in
former
the realm
Keyblade
of
master?
darkness.
I want to see his
My
Keyblade.
Keyblade was damaged, and the Heartless broke Riku's clean in half. So, we're gonna need to get replacements before we can continue.
In that case, rendezvous with Kairi and Lee. They are continuing their training under the tutelage of the wizard Merlin.
Yes,
This was
sir.
such a tease. I really hoped that
Also, I would
them
like
saying-
you to deliver these for me.
Are they?
rendezvousing with Kairi
Yes,
and Lee
they
and
are
getting
the
their
same
Keyblades, we
as
would get
the
to see
ones I
all of that
gave
and
you.
see them all interacting and maybe do some
Special
training, but it just does not
vestments to
happen.
Shield Kairi and Lee from the dark.
Those are extremely stylish boxes, though, and I would like
got
some
'em.
luggage that looks like this. When are they going to sell it?
No fair!
I want that purple and black
What
one.
about my outfit, Master?
Don't even talk to me until I've cast my morning beard spell.
Settle down. I have new clothes for you too, Sora.
Yeah?
A gift from the good fairies.
I knew you'd come through for me. Thanks.
But Donald and
Those are
Goofy,
no
same old
ordinary
outfits.
garments, Sora. Like before, they have very special powers, so it took extra time to prepare them. In addition, there is a gift from Chip and Dale inside.
Cool. Okay.
Happy
Weird,
now?
the pattern is printed like backwards,
Now
so when you
you're
hold it
all
right
ready
side
to
up, it's
proceed.
upside down.
Wait,
Mickey's
don't
head is
forget
upside
about
down.
me.
Jiminy!
Every journey
My
worth
boy.
going on needs a cricket to keep track of it. And I can't let you start this one without old Jiminy Cricket by your side.
The whole team's
Something about
back.
Jiminy makes him seem kind of sick this time. Maybe it's
Good.
like his
Now to
skin
mark the
tone
beginning of a new
combined with his
journey.
sort of glossy
I
texture.
wish for you to have
But I
this,
spent the
Sora.
whole game feeling a little worried about his health.
Okay.
That is a heart binder. Think of it as a good luck charm made just for you. You have a gift, Sora, for connecting with others. And this makes that gift stronger.
It's time to go.
It's interesting that we get a cutscene introducing the summoning item, but it doesn't ever give us cutscenes or reasons for why the cutscenes, like for why you get the summons later on. Like we don't get an introductory cutscene for why people are connected. Though I guess this item description implies that each one of the Heartbinders is different. Sora has like a ring of these, his like cell phone contacts.
Okay, round two. Oh, come on, when you get serious.
Give me a break, okay? I told you, these things take time.
Gorge.
And here's the second example of this, which I talked about the first time we did this, which is that this game just does not know what to do with Sora. And so it just has to find the tiniest excuses to keep him busy until finally they can give you the villain's final plan.
What's this?
Got me, magic stop.
But I don't know how. Maybe this.
I love that they gave him the simplest cell phone ever and he still has trouble with it.
Chipper, I finally got him. Hurry up, Chip. Well, it's about time.
Chip?
You gotta answer the phone,
Imagine wearing rubber gloves
or we
all the
can't
time.
give you updates. We
Oh
got
my gosh,
lots
look at
and
that pad.
lots
Is
of
that Pluto's
important stuff we
sleeping
wanna tell
place?
you.
That's so cute.
That's why we
A
asked
good
Master
effect.
Yensid to make sure you got this gummy phone we made ya. So we'd be able to stay in touch with you at all times. And it takes pictures.
Oh,
They look so
finally finished
goofy.
it. Say, with this
And,
gummy
like,
phone, we
bigger
can
than the
talk to each
phone.
other
Like,
across
right here,
worlds. In fact, I might
When they're in
even
the
try
camera, they
writing
seem
my
tiny
journal
and
on it.
cute.
Wow.
But outside of it, they
Sounds
seem
like
too
it's pretty
big.
handy, guys. So, what's so important?
But also not big enough
Back
to
when
carry
you
the
and
phone.
Riku quested through the sleeping worlds, Riku recovered some secret research data that Ansem the Wise hid inside you.
The way that they bounce while they talk.
We've been working our tails off.
And the way that their like big chipmunk thighs push out the apron dress.
Been encrypted, so we've only
Ah.
deciphered some of it.
It's our boy.
Oh, I guess we haven't spoken since the castle. I'm Ienzo. Alias is here too. Alias, whatever's between you and Roxas, it's in the past. Zora, the reason
These
we're
boys
here is because
back
you
from
and your
Chain of
friends
Memories.
defeated our nobodies, thereby
Finally
reconvening us.
here.
We cast off our hearts by choice, make no mistake. But we didn't know that Xemnas, or rather, Xehanort, was deceiving us.
Huh? Xemnas?
Oh, he's with them.
Not anymore. Xemnas and Xehanort have no hold over us now. We're just
Both
students
of
the
these
heart.
two were defeated during Chain of Memories, so Sora doesn't remember meeting them. Same with Marluxia, who we'll see in a little while.
But you know, now that I think about it, Axel's on our side now.
We have friends we want to bring back to this world just the same as you. To do that, we have to work together.
It's interesting though because
In
Ienzo
that
has kind of
spirit,
grown
Sora,
up,
We found some intriguing
but it seems like
data
Ienzo was
in the
very
bit of
young
code we
when he had
deciphered.
his heart removed. He was the youngest member of the organization as well, and the process of
Yes.
becoming a nobody kind of made him
In order
taller.
to piece your memories
But then
back
when he came
together,
back, I guess
our
he
teacher,
crossed
Ansem
back
the
through,
Wise, took a
crossed
close
back
look
through
at
being
your
a teen, and he likes
And what he
dressing as
found
like
is
a
that your
Dr.
heart
Jekyll kind of figure.
doesn't belong just to you.
It doesn't? Gorge, you don't seem surprised.
Yeah. Honestly, I suspected as much. There's another heart inside mine. I think it's
Sort of, Sora.
Roxas's.
There's 3. Mm-hmm.
Just like Naminé is still inside Kyrie's.
Interesting.
It's Roxas's, and Ventus's, and Shion's.
To be honest, we still have a plethora of questions on our side. But
that reflection in the
idea
thing
has
is really
merit.
neat.
It's incredible enough that you
It's
and
just
your
a nice touch
nobody
that you
are
can see
able
his
to
finger in the metal.
coexist. If you share a heart, no wonder someone as remarkable as you caught Ansem the Wise's eye.
We'll keep investigating based on your hypothesis. I'll be in touch.
Okie dokie. We'll give you fellas a ring if there's anything else. Remember, me and Chip, the guys at Radiant Garden, and King Mickey and everybody are never far away.
Oh dang, we never really got to play in Radiant Garden in this game. That makes me sad.
Leave it to me.
You know, they absolutely could introduce some DLC levels
have to find
into this game if
Roxas
they wanted. I
and
don't think they
save
will,
him.
but it would be very cool.
The others are following Aqua's heart. So I'll follow Roxas's heart.
Trust the guidance
So,
that your heart
Roxas and
gives you,
Shion.
Sora.
Actually,
That's
Tim,
what
that's a really
Master
interesting
Yen
question,
said.
and the like that is what Xemnas says, and that's true. But Roxas and Shion, over the course of Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days, developed their own hearts. So by the time Roxas went back inside Sora to complete him, he actually already had a heart of his own, and Shion started developing one as well over the course of 358 over 2 days. But because they're almost just like people that got hurt. It's sort of like a metaphor for trauma, I think, because they believe that they have, or like depression, because they believe that they don't have hearts and they believe that they cannot get them back except by force. But it's not true. And the games like repeatedly hammer home the idea that they really do have hearts. And so at this point in the game, the reason we're looking for bodies for them, or not right now, but soon, the reason we're looking for bodies for them is because their hearts are all in there. They just need somewhere to go. Because the nobody kind of gave up its body to build Sora back. And that's what it had to give back, was the body, not the heart. So that Sora could be recompleted. Wow, that gummy ship is so slow. Oop. But we'll get to make a new one soon. For now, let's get to the next goal. And yeah, the human ghost containment unit thing, Sora is kind of like that. The main thing, honestly, is that his heart was so strong that everybody that came out of it was also like a very strong force. But that's also kind of debatable about why they are all there. The mere fact that they could all use a Keyblade because they came from Sora, who had the power of the Keyblade, is part of why they were important. And because they were important, their nobodies were given special attention, and they were used throughout Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days for Xemnas' plan. And so that's kind of why they became special. But it's also implied that Sora is so strong that everybody that comes out of him is also like strong and will eventually become real people as well. But I appreciate you asking that question a second ago, Tim, because that's part of what I want to write about. I actually think that, and I tweeted about this a little while back, I think that one of the most unfortunate things about the dialogue around Kingdom Hearts 2, and about the fact that a lot of people played Kingdom Hearts 2 and really enjoyed it, but didn't play Chain of Memories, and eventually did not play 358 over 2 days, is that most of our idea of what a nobody is, if you're just playing Kingdom Hearts 2, comes directly from the villain, and doesn't come from the truth or from any lore outside of what Xemnas has said. Oh, Lagna, are you saying that because I was asking about, because of all the stuff I said about Sora? I can maybe explain some of that better as we go, especially when the plot starts dealing with it. But yeah, I think it's really interesting that a lot of us as kids and even me when I was playing them again recently, you kind of internalize what the bad guy, who is like specifically manipulating this group of people, what the bad guy believes about, or not believes, but tries to convince all these people about themselves, which is that they are useless outside of what they have to offer him, and that only he can provide the way for them to become real people. But we internalize that as the truth, and it's sort of interesting and also, like, I guess bad storytelling a little bit, that you can leave that game and still believe that, which leads to the confusion around, like, well, then who is Roxas, and like, why does he matter? And but the whole reason that Roxas was the whole beginning of that game, from a, like, I love using the word semiotic, obviously, but from a semiotic perspective, the reason you spend so much time with Roxas at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 is so that you have to leave that game knowing that he's important. Unfortunately, like, because the plot doesn't do such a great job of hammering home why later on, a lot of people left that game thinking, why did this game make me spend 2 hours with a character who isn't real and isn't important? But the whole idea behind that structure and the whole reason that they force you into it for that long is so that you know, even if the game doesn't do a great job of explaining it, like, that is important and it's worth focusing on who this character is and why they exist. And just like all throughout Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora is going into all sorts of different... Oh, and Coded is obviously the biggest example of this, even though it's not a great game. Sora is going through all of these different simulations, like the Tron world, or all these different books, like the Winnie the Pooh book, and even all of his worlds or movies. This game has a really, really clear theory or idea, assertion about simulations, and that as soon as a simulation is created and given power by the people that observe it or by its own existence, it matters just as much as the real thing does, which is why every single simulation or created character is coming back. Like, even in this one, we get the Riku replica from Chain of Memories back to hammer home, like, even he was not throwaway, even though he was just at the time, just a robot built and manipulated. He was still a person, and just by being created was imbued with personhood.
Why go stressing them out?
Thank you for listening to me talk about that for so long. Hopefully I'll be able to write it in a little bit of a clearer way at the end of this process.
But doesn't that thing Pete said bother you?
Come on, we're talking about Pete. That means it's probably no big
And right here, they bring up the black box again and then decide to just not even worry about it.
Cool. The trams are still here. Feels like it.
Maybe you're feeling what Roxas feels because he misses home.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I ran into Roxas in the Sleeping Worlds. It was like seeing into his heart for the first time.
I don't actually remember this. Roxas being in the
It was a
dream
test
drop distance.
to see if your data version was ready to face the hurt that you carry inside.
Was I ready? I do know her.
There's also a potential
When I
interesting
lost Riku and Kairi,
thing here of Roxas
later
embodying,
when I lost the Keyblade,
like,
and you
Sora's
guys had to go on without me
sadness, and as a character for most of the other
Having
games, he's
no
kind of
one to turn to
compartmentalized
was the
his
worst kind
any
of
negative emotion and just kept
that just
focusing and
shows how
moving
much you
forward,
mean to
and
me.
when he gets sad he breaks down in this
Carrying
big
around
way.
a little hurt can't
But
be
just
all
now they
that
frame
bad.
it as
Hurting is part of
Roxas being a hurt that he has to look at in order to move forward, which is very interesting.
Of course, any Sora's still Sora.
It was like the city at the edge of the world or
wait,
something.
if Roxas
The end of
feels
the
something,
end of the world
then we're
maybe
in
is
the
what
right
that city was
place.
called, right, Austin?
Roxas, I'm gonna find you.
And here's the second one of those cuts. And that is... I'm not sure who's talking, but I think it might just be Nobody's collectively. Like, it might have been these Dusks, because I think they did a little bit of it in the last game, too. But it's interesting to refer to Roxas as a liege, unless they're talking about Xemnas. Okay. I'll show you this link. The Meow Wow balloon. So the Meow Wow is... In Dream Drop Distance, it was kind of an animal collector. like creature collector, and the Meow Wow was one of the first ones you got. But they have an interesting mechanic in this one where you do a jump and a slam to get bigger, and then once you're pretty big, you can deflate and fly around hitting the bad guys. And then the finish summons a lot of the creatures that you could collect during Dream Drop Distance. I am sort of sad that those, other than that summon, they're not really mentioned, like the existence of those things. I sort of wish that they played a bigger role in the game because they were so sweet and they worked really, really hard on their designs, obviously. They were all like very cute, like slightly more goopy and positive versions of Heartless. Oh, I have my new Keyblade. So most of the Keyblades that have form changes, if you cast magic during them, it's fine, but you have to do a lot of actually hitting with the Keyblade in order to transform it, even for the ones that are more magical, which can get kind of frustrating. But now I've got this shield, and the cool thing about the shield is that I can block, and if I block with it, it gets this special ability, which is like a big fist. But I can block a lot and get more, get like a bigger fist and stuff. I haven't found the like blocking a whole bunch of times to be super worth it. Oh, I love these guys. The weird, forget what they're called. The ones with the crossbows. Each in the Kingdom Hearts 2, each of the nobodies kind of had its own. This is also another moment where the camera is like, see, just a mess. Hard to control. It's cute the way they try to emphasize like, okay, you're on the ride too, but oof, it's hard to get around with it. In Kingdom Hearts 2, each of the nobodies, the major nobodies from the organization, had like a special nobody or a couple of nobodies that sort of thematically had a similar fighting style to them and that you saw a lot in the worlds where they appeared. And that was the one that kind of came up with Zigbar, who also has a gun.
You sure it wasn't the wind? Or something
Hello,
else?
Eternal Chaos Gaming. It's going good. We are playing Kingdom Hearts 3, having a good time. Probably wrapping up pretty soon for the day.
What? Hold up.
How are you?
See? Voices. New ones? What? Hayner? Pence? Olette?
Hayner, Pinsolette, like Sora, Donald, Goofy, is another one of those trio of names that the game really likes to say over and over. And they are maybe intentionally calling back to one of the emotional moments of the opening sequence of Kingdom Hearts 2, is when Roxas is screaming over and over, Hayner, Pence, Olette, because he's been let out of his simulation, or it's like the simulation is glitching, and his friends, who are also simulated at the time, start to disappear. But they are simulated so well and so clearly that their connection to the real world is sort of hard to deny, and their personalities are like exactly the same. And as you'll see in a little bit here, they actually they don't share memories, but they've done some of the same stuff, like taken the same photographs, but just not with Roxas in them. And the combos for the shield are so cool. The way he boomerangs it, the lightning that comes from it. What does base Sora run? Do you mean like a level 1 run? Let's go, Donald. This thing has so much life. Okay, cool. We don't have to fight all of it. And I finally got the cure skill. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yes, Lucknow. There is a real world. So this world that we're in right now, they're all the real world, basically. But Twilight Town, this version that we're in right now, is the real world version of a Twilight Town that is simulated, which, see, he does it again, the same trio. Nobody has like a group name, so they all have to say all their names all in a row. So the simulated Twilight Town, which is inside of a computer in a mansion here in Twilight Town, was built to hide Roxas in so that he would not like fight back or run away while he was being studied by Ansem the Wise, when Ansem the Wise was trying very hard to get the other Ansem under control, which is a lot to talk about for sure. But basically, there is a simulated version of this town, and they'll talk about it a little bit right now. And that's very cool, Chaos Gaming. I don't know if I have the strength to do that right now, but I'm enjoying the Proud Mode run here. And we're talking a lot about the story and what it means. Is Soma that horror game? The one where you, every time you like switch rooms, you're like creating a copy of yourself and leaving the other one behind? It's also so sweet how ready these kids are to help out. But I guess if I saw a nice photograph of me with someone, I would also believe it. Honestly, this combined with the fact that we just finished that Russian doll show has made me feel very good about the current writing of people who don't remember things and people trusting each other when someone's like, I know this doesn't seem real to you, but it is, I promise. This phone thingy. Good joke. And I love his Dog Street shirt. Very good. When we were doing research on it before we made the like Dog Street Twitter handle that Austin and Peter and I post on sometimes, it seems like it's a fashion brand from a different video game that Tetsuya Nomura worked on that he pulled in for this kid's shirt. But I don't think Haynerpence and Olette, I don't think they exist in any other game, right? I think they just exist here. Yeah, so this game takes that idea to like a logical extent. Yeah, I don't know about Hidden Mickey. I think it's because Mickey is a character, so they don't want to like be confusing about that. But it takes what Soma does, this like sort of existential dread of existing sometimes but not all the time, or creating a copy of yourself, and is that also the real one? It's also pulled from that Hugh Jackman magician movie that also deals with this question. But they do it in this game in a very like positive way, where they take a very clear stance that like those people all exist and it's possible for them all to exist at the same time. So there's a lot of stuff we can do here. do some upgrades, some other stuff, but I think I'm going to save that for the beginning of the next stream so that that can be sort of our like warm up into the stream, is doing some upgrading, buying some new stuff, getting ready for this level. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you Eternal Chaos Gaming for coming to visit for a little while. I am sad to leave right now. We've got some people here watching, but I will be back soon. My next stream this week is, if you look at the bottom below the stream, you can see my little calendar. The next stream this week is going to be on Wednesday. We're going to be streaming the Health Bar, the Sexy Brutale. It's my first playthrough of that game, and we just finished the first 2 mysteries. We're saving lives in that game in this very spooky hotel, and we'll be continuing with the next mystery. If you need to catch up, you can click on that little icon, which has 13th Wednesday on it, and that will take you to the YouTube page to watch the original episode, which the first 14 minutes didn't have microphone audio, so it's just a very pure Let's Play for a little while, and then I'll come in and start talking on there as well. And then we'll be continuing Kingdom Hearts on Thursday at the same time. If any times change or anything, I'll let you know, or I'll change it on the screen. I really appreciate you guys coming to hang out and chatting with me, and I hope you will mention it to some other people who might have some fun. And I'll see you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, everybody.